In this video, we're going to be learning about trapezoids, the next quadrilateral in our unit. Trapezoids are totally different because they are not parallelograms. Both sets of sides are not parallel. One type of trapezoids is called a non-isosceles trapezoid. And in this one, we only have one pair of parallel sides, and none of the other sides are congruent. However, consecutive angles, so here's my parallel lines. The angles, the consecutive angles between them, so like one from the top and then this one down here in the bottom, they are supplementary. That's really the only thing we can say for sure about them. In this one and this one would be supplementary. And they both look to be, this blue and purple one, both look to be 90 degrees, but they don't have to be 90 degrees. The isosceles trapezoids are the ones that we'll focus on a little more. So we do have one set of parallel sides, just one set. The other sides, they're not parallel, but in an isosceles trapezoid, they're the same length, which is why they've got that dash there. They're the same length. Now the diagonals are congruent. They're the same length. Okay? And in those diagonals, this piece and that piece is the same, and those two are the same. So, a little different than what you're used to. Now, these base angles, those are these big angles here at the bottom. These base angles are congruent. And these angles up here are congruent. And any purple angle and any pink angle, if I add them together, we're going to get 180. So those are a few things about the trapezoid. So if we look here at number 1, this one is not isosceles. However, I know that these two angles that I'm circling, angles J and M, add up to 180. So I can take 180 minus 87 and get 93. So angle M is 93 degrees. And same for K and L, they add up to 180. So 180 minus 51 is 129. Try number 2. Here's my parallel sides. A and D are supplementary, so to find angle D, I can do 180 minus 62, and that gives me 118. B and C are supplementary, so if I take 180 minus 31, I'm going to get 149. Number 3, those are my two parallel sides, and you kind of have to pay attention to where your parallel sides are because that determines which angles that you say are supplementary. So the 54 and the 8x plus 6, those are supplementary. So 54 plus 8x plus 6 equals 180. When I combine my like terms, I get 8x plus 60 equals 180. Then I can subtract 60 from both sides to get 8x equals 120. And dividing by 8 gives me x equals 15. Number 4, here's my parallel sides. That means that Q and R are supplementary. P and S are also supplementary, but that doesn't help us here. Q and R are supplementary, so 12x plus 3 plus 7x minus 13 equals 180. Combining like terms gives me 19x minus 10 equals 180. Add 10 to get 19x equals 190. And then dividing by 19 gives me x equals 10. But we are asked to find angle R. So the measure of angle R equals 7 times 10 minus 13, which is 57 degrees. Now we're getting into some isosceles trapezoids. So remember with diagonals, which two parts of the diagonals that I said were the same, and then these sides are the same. So DG would be congruent. This is not asking for a specific length. When you see the congruent symbol, that's really asking which side is the same. So segment DG is congruent to segment EF, and segment DF is congruent to segment EG. Number 6, remember the angles I told you that were the same? Angle T is congruent to angle U, and angle V is congruent to angle W. So that means if we're looking at these angle measures, angle Q is super easy to find. It's 112 degrees. And to get R and S, we take 180 minus 112, which is 68. So R and S are both 68 degrees. Number 8, X is 47, so W has to be 47. And to find these other angles, I can take 180 minus 47, which is 133. So Y and Z are both 133 degrees. Let's do some examples. I don't know how far we'll get through these or how many we'll do. I might skip around because a lot of them are very similar. So number 9, we have an isosceles trapezoid, okay? MP is 16x minus 13, and NO is 9x plus. So then we have PN, which is 5y plus 19, and MO, which is 12y minus 37. these are two totally separate things, and we're going to have to solve separately. We're going to do solve for the x's and the y's. So let's start with x, and we know that MP and NO are the same length. So 16x minus 13 equals 9x plus 8. I can subtract 9x from both sides to get 7x minus 13 equals 8. And then add 13 to both sides to get 7x equals 21. And dividing by 7 gives us x equals 3. Then we can move on for our y's, and we know that the diagonals are equal. So 5y plus 19 equals 12y minus 37. Subtracting 5y from both sides gives us 19 equals 7y minus 37. Add 37 to both sides, and we get 56 equals 7y. And then dividing by 7 gives us 8 equals y. All right. Next up, we have an isosceles trapezoid. Got to remember those angles, which ones are congruent. C and D are congruent. A and B are congruent. So I can set 2x plus 27 equal to 5x minus 12 because I know that those two angles are equal. Subtracting 2x from both sides gives me 27 equals 3x minus 12. Add 12 to both sides, and we get 39 equals 3x. So 13 equals x. Now, all I have to do is really plug in to one of those angles. So the measure of angle C is 5 times 13 minus 12. And that's going to give me 53 degrees. So if C is 53, it's super easy to find D because they're the same. And then to find A, I can take 180 minus 53 to get 127. So A and B are both 127. And C and D are both 53. Number 11 gives us, we don't have two of the angles that are the same. We have two consecutive angles, which we know add up to 180. So I'm going to say that 10, let me choose a different color. 10x minus 33 plus 4x plus 17 equals 180. So we have 14x minus 16 equals 180. Add 16 to both sides to get 14x equals 196. And then if I divide by 14, I get x equals 14. And again, all I need to do is find one of those angles. I only need to plug into one angle, and then I can find them all. So if I pick M, 4 times 14 plus 17, that's 73 degrees. So 73 73. Then 180 minus 73 is 107. All right, all the rest of these are just pretty much identical. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and fill out the answers and test yourself. Try the next one and see if you get the same answer. And if you do, you're probably good. And if you need more practice, or if you need me to work through these on the video, let me know and I can add that. But I don't know that it's actually necessary for you all. So 12, we have 115, 115, 65, 65. Number 13, 131, 131, 49, 49. And number 14, 37, 37, 143, 143. If you have any questions, let me know. I would suggest going back and rewatching the start of these if you get a little confused. And then if you still need help, feel free to email me. Have a good day.